Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. This is Facebook Live number 470. It is Sunday, March 8th, 2026. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have a super cute card for you tonight, and I can't wait to share it with you. And I'm going to put you down on the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, look away. I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. So hold on. So hopefully you had a great weekend so far. I know today is Sunday, so loosen that up. It is also Spring Forward Sunday, so hopefully you guys all remember to do that. I kind of forgot. And hi, Carolyn. Tina, nice to see you. Yeah, it's daylight savings time, so I can look outside at 7 o'clock and see that it's not exactly too dark. So that is pretty cool. All right. So I am going to squish in, I think, a little bit more. Good. Okay, so again, my name is Joy Borwedge. How you doing, Tina? My Instagram page is Stampin' for Joy. My YouTube page is Joy A. Borwedge. My online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. penguinz33@outlook.com is my email address, that if you do not have a demonstrator that you're working with and like to see a catalog, let me know. And I also have a Facebook page, Stampin' for Joy. So what happens is I record this on my Joy Borwedge Facebook page. Then I take that video and I download it to my YouTube page and my Stampin' for Joy page. Then the project that I make today, I will put a photo on my Stampin' for Joy, my Instagram page, and thank you very much. You are so sweet. Yes, that's my saying, is I don't make ugly cards. I said that at the weekend event that we had last weekend, and somebody said, "Oh my gosh, your cards are so cute." And I said, "Thank you. I don't do ugly." I thought that was funny. All right, let's talk about a few things going on. And let's see here. We have I hid all my papers on myself. There we go. We don't need that. Okay, so we have just a few more days. If you would like to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, you have until March 10th to sign up. And because it's March and it's the Paper Pumpkin's birthday, you will get an additional stamp set. So there'll be 2 stamp sets in Fluttering Garden, March's Paper Pumpkins. So you have until the 10th to sign up for that. 2 new kits came out, and I took photos of one kit. So this is really a cool thing. It's called a standing clipboard trio kit. And what that means is that you get 3 clipboards that you can showcase your creations from, every Radiant Reminders and every, I think it says Living Thing. And these are sold separately, but also you can use them for your handmade creations, your photos, your stamp art, and favorite quotes. So you get 3 clipboards, and they're all put together. They have a sturdy backing and a kickstand. And what you do is, now this is the kit. This is $25. You get 3 clipboards, okay? You can purchase the Every Little Things kit. And this is artwork that you put together and you demonstrate them, or let's see, not demonstrate. You use the clipboards to showcase. There we go. I'm looking for words. Words are hard. So you showcase your art by putting them on the clipboards. So every little thing kit can be displayed on the clipboards. Another one is called a Radiant Reminders kit. And this one happens to be a no stamping, and it comes with the items that you create 3 do-it-yourself displays with the Radiant Reminders. It features Monstera leaves, Luna moth, and a neutral pattern in beige, black, brown, green, and gold. These handmade home decor pieces let your creativity shine while adding natural, organic style to any room. Derek, hi, how you doing? And so that's something that just came out. So you buy the clipboards and then you buy the 2 kits, one, or you can get both of them, that coordinate with this kit. So they're all sold separately. All right, then we have the March online exclusives that just became available this last week. So don't forget to check that out, along with the annual catalog and the spring mini catalog. And today we're going to be playing with something that is in the March online exclusives, and I believe some of it is not available right now. And it's a bundle, and it is called the Cutest Crew. And that is the dog and the cat and the birds. And so we're going to play with that today. So if you actually have that bundle, you can play with it, get some new ideas. If you don't have it, and once it becomes available online, if you want it, you can go and tell Stampin' Up! There's a little spot that says, please notify me when these become available. And you can sign up for that. So then they'll send you a note saying, hey, they're available. It's available now. So I would go ahead and do that because it's just too flippin' cute. The Notes of Spring is the product of the month. And so you get a chance to purchase this with your first $75 order in my online store, and there will be a little notice that says, hey, you qualify to purchase the product of the month for only $5. Do you wish to do that? So this is available, and it is called the Notes of Spring. And it's a 2-step stamp. So it's really cool that you have the outline and then you have the shading that coordinates with it. So have fun with that. And then just a couple little, just want to show you the Garden Poetry Suite. And this is in the March online exclusives, but I just wanted to show you the beautiful colors that coordinate with this stamp set. And then also the Homemade Sweetness Suite. And there's been a lot of demonstrators that have pre-ordered this, and have been showing quite a few things that have been adorable with this suite of product. So check those out in the online store. All right, so tonight's card, like I said, we're going to be using the Cutest Crew. That's a bundle, and a bundle means that you get to purchase the stamp set and the dies and save 10%. Okay, now it's your choice to, I can't remember which one's not available right now. It's currently going to come back, but Stampin' Up! Makes the stamps, and then the dies, you know, they kind of come from a different country, and it takes a while. So with the new year, you know, the the China New Year. It always takes a little bit longer to get the products at this time of year, but they will be coming available pretty soon. So we're going to be playing with this today, as well as these stylish shapes. Now these, make sure you put your name in there, Carolyn, to have that notify you once they come in. The stylish shapes. This is a great die set to have for any occasion. So I suggest, if you don't have this, put this in your slow to type. Yeah. All right. So we're going to be playing with the little birdies out of this suite. And so I went into the color coach and I picked a color that I do not use very much. And that is Lemon Lolly. And so Lemon Lolly told me that Pool Party and Cherry Cobbler make a really good card. And so I did that. So we're going to play with Lemon Lolly. And I actually, to be honest, I don't think I've used it for anything. I'm just not a yellow person. I mean, I don't mind yellow. I like yellows. So we're going to play with Lemon Lolly. And then Old Olive, and then Pool Party and Cherry Cobbler, and a little bit of Cajun Craze. So we're going to play. Oh, I did not put measurements on here. My bad. I made this card yesterday, and I forgot to do that. Sorry, guys. So we have a piece of scrap paper. Of Cherry Cobbler, Lemon Lolly, and Cajun Craze. Then we have a piece of basic black, and that is a 2.5 inch square. Then we have a piece of basic white. This is actually a scrap piece, and that is 2.5 by 3.5. And hopefully, I'm just going to be using a little bit. And then we have a square, and this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. This is the inside panel for the card on the, like I said, inside. And this is a 3 3/4 by 5. Normally I have all the measurements written on here so that you can pause it, but now you're going to have to just pause it and listen to me again. So this is a quarter sheet, or sorry, half a sheet. And so it is 5 1/4 by 8. And I scored it at 4. And then that is Pool Party. And then basic black. This is going to be, this is our, I should have that the right way. This is 5 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is an actual quarter sheet of cardstock. All right, sorry about that, guys, that I didn't have that on there. So we're going to do some die cutting, and I have taken the time to stamp some images and cut them out. So we're gonna be using Stampin' blends to color, as well as some ink pads to color, and brushes. So I think we're good. All right, let me make sure I have all my lights on so that you can see really well. Okay, so we're not going to do this for anything. And then also, we're going to be using the new Stampin' Positioner. And so we're going to die cut with this. And we're not going to do anything with this one right away. And we're going to die cut this as well. So I'm just kind of organizing my stuff. We're going to stamp on this, we're going to stamp on this, and we're going to stamp on this. So we have, let's see, we're going to grab our Stampin' Pearson mat, and we're going to stamp the little birdies on here. And hopefully we're going to use some Memento black. Okay, And so then we're going to die cut these little guys out. Might as well move this over and then, you know, do the tap, tap, tap right in front of you. Make sure we don't have any kitty fuzz on there. I've been doing really good. I think the idea of using the Simply Chamois has helped reduce a lot of the kitty fuzz on there. Okay, so those are the cute little birdies that I have stamped, and we're going to color those in just a little bit. And then we're going to stamp. Let's see here. Where do I want to go first? I think we're going to move this over, and we're going to die cut. Well, we can color, and then we could die cut, just because I like die cutting first. And then this piece is going to be the inside of our card, and we can stamp our greeting on the inside, and it's going to say happy birthday, and that's going to go in cherry cobbler. Just tap, tap, tap. And then we're going to put that right there. And then we're going to stamp in black. We're going to close that up for now. And then we're going to stamp in black. We're going to use the butterflies that are from this set. Tap, tap. I'm going to put that right next to the greeting. Okay, and then we're going to use the black on our piece that is going to be on our Stampin' Positioner. Now on here, I have the grid paper, and I have the little piece. So it's going to say, have the best day, and it has little footprints on it from the little birdies. And so we're going to take this, and we're going to line this up right there. So I have to make sure that this is in the specific spot that I wish it to be. And so we're going to put that, there's holes right here. And if you were lucky enough to grab the Stampin' Positioner as a demonstrator, as a new demonstrator, welcome to the family. I myself did not have anybody join up with that specific offer, but that is okay. So then what we do is I just push this up just a little bit because it can have a little bit of weeble wobble. And there we go. Now what we're going to do is called hinge step stamping. And so we're going to put that right there. We're going to grab that memento again, and we're just going to go tap, tap, tap. No, they do not prohibit. Hi, Dawn. Welcome. Now, I actually have my Stamparatus dies on here. These magnets are thin, and they do not prohibit the stamping. They, as you can tell, they are not in the way. But I find that the more, let's see, the newer the stamp, it tends to grab the paper pretty easily. So I like to have that magnets close, and it suggests Stampin' Up actually suggests having the magnets close to where you're stamping. So then that way, come on, that way they don't, it doesn't allow your paper to move, and to grab it is easy. All right, and so far we're doing really well. Now, if you have scissors, they might be attracted to the magnets. I couldn't find my scissors, and they were hanging out. And I'm like, ah, there you go. Okay, so then we're going to lay down. Again, those holes, I'm just going to push up a little bit and push this one down and just push and lift up. And there we go. We have another one. And I think we're going to have one more available. All right. And we'll just push that right down. And woohoo! There we go. And let's see. I don't necessarily want to have half the footprints on there, so we're just going to let it go. I think that should be fine, and that is not going to ruin the front of the card by having just a little bit of space down there. Now, what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to put my magnets down, and I'm going to clean off the using my Simply Chamois, and I'm actually going to grab a block because I want the little footprints to go on the inside of the card. I like to bring something from the front into my card designs so that it's on the inside. And you know what, I guess it could take, I'm going to leave that on there so that way I don't lose it. Okay, so we're going to stamp. We're going to bring that Stampin' Pearson mat back in, and we're going to put the little footprints that the birdies are making in the card on the inside. And we're just going to go like they can't make up their straight mind, just like that. And I mean, birds can fly in a straight line, but sometimes they can walk a little wonky, so that's okay. Okay, and then we're going to take the inside piece and we're going to rip it towards me. And so that we have a little look like that. And so hopefully I tore that just fine. Oh, perfect. I did. Okay, great. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring in our color palette. I have shown this several times when I have done this, that I swatch my colors in the row. So I always do my light and then my dark, my light and then my dark. And I always do the nib tip at the top and then the brush on the bottom. So that it helps me realize what I am looking at. And I am going to use the brush side of my old olive. And I am going to just hit the bottom edges of my torn paper, okay? And then I'll put the lid back on, and we're going to grab the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and get some things going. Well, you know what? Never mind. Let's color the birdies in and the butterflies. Seeing as how we have this here, and we can color the butterflies in and the little birds. So why not do that? Okay. So I'm going to sit down, and this way like I said, I always swatch this because sometimes so like my dark pool party is the darkest one, happens to be the brush tip, and the brush tip on the lemon lolly looks like it's the darkest one. Now my cherry cobbler, my brush is not the best. So I can use that for coloring in gems. And then I can use the darkest one the next one would be the nib tip off the cherry cobbler. Now these two are pretty close the same. But it depends on what you're actually coloring from. So that's the reason why, and it depends on how long you've had them and how much you use them. So I want to see what I have to work with when I'm working with my colors. All right, so I'm going to take a seat, and we're going to color the birdies in, the butterflies and the little birdies. So I'm going to do the light nib tip, the light brush, light nib tip for the top butterfly. And there's not going to be a lot of shading on the butterflies just because there's really not a lot of space. And I'm going to do the brush of the dark lemon lolly. And you want to make sure that there's a nice snap to it. And I'm going to use the nib tip of the old olive for my little butterfly. And then cherry cobbler, I'm going to do the dark nib tip. Sorry, I'm not talking. This is a lot of little space, so I don't want to color outside the lines. All right, so that's the butterflies. Okay, so that we're done with that one right now. And so we're going to put that off to the side. And then we're going to color the birds. And I am going to use the brush tip of the dark lemon lolly. And then I'm going to go with the light brush tip and finish the rest of the bird. And then the bird on the inside is going to be, let's see, he's going to be cherry cobbler, and I'm going to use my brush. My cherry cobbler brush is not very pretty. So I am just going to pounce a little bit of color, and then we're going to blend it in with the dark nib tip. Okay, and then my last birdie is going to be blue. And so we're going to do the pool party. And again, this one doesn't have the best brush tip. So we're just going to grab some dark color off of there. And then we're going to use the nib tip of the light, and we're just going to blend that in. Squeak, 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 squeak. And then the Cajun craze, it's going to be the beak. And then the grass, this is going to be, actually I'm going to use the nib tip because I think that'll be a lot nicer. Okay, then we're going to use the lighter nib tip and just kind of scribble some greens in between. Okay, and then let's see, I have some templates that I made, and what I did is I made birds at the top and at the bottom. So we're going to take the birdies, okay, and we're going to color kind of a little bit of pool party around them. We're going to grab the brush. I have a little one. And we're just going to grab some of that color off. And we're just going to kind of move it. Whoops! I wasn't holding very well now, was I? Okay, and so we're just going to move away from the birds and not do a lot of swirling motion, just because if we do too much of a swirling motion around the birds, we might rip the birds off. And we don't want to rip the birds off. We just want a little bit around them, okay? Just to make it so it's not so white, right? Okay, and then there's a little bit in between. Okay. All right, so there's the birds. Now, if you notice, there's white in between the legs. That bugged me. So here we go. We're just going to color in a little bit between the legs. I'll figure out something, right? That's what I do. And then, now we have a little bit of so we have a little bit around them. Okay. And then I want some green on the grass. So we're going to take this and let's see. Yeah. Put that back. Get in there. Do, do, do. I think I took off one of its legs. All right. No biggie. All right. So then now we're going to take the green. Now this old olive. Now this might show, this might not, but I wanted to cover my bases just in case, okay? Woo! And my ink pad just fell off its case. Oh, yay. Okay, so then we're going to just do a little bit down at the bottom, just in case there is a little bit that shows, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing to this. We're just going to put a little bit on this one. And then we're going to cover that up. We're going to fix this case later. And, oh, there we go. We just put it back in the spot. All right, then we're going to do a little bit more blue sky than we did on the other one. All right, so let's just start here. Start in the middle and then swirl off. Okay. Some of it. Woohoo! Perfect. Then we're going to take our Stampin' Cut Emboss machine and we're going to do a little work. All right. Okay, so we'll get rid of that and we're going to do that. And we'll put that up there. And I'm going to keep this just in case I ever want to do this again. And so I'm going to put that in the stamp case like this. Just next to, because I really liked the way my kitties turned out on the card that I made. So I put a color shot and which colors I used. So I can use that next time I make this card. Or the next time I make a kitty card. Well, today we're doing birdies. Okay. So now we're going to, I'm going to cut this off so it doesn't take up as much space because I can use that. I wanted to have it just in case I made a boo-boo and I needed to redo them. Okay, so we got the birdies colored. So we're going to line that up and put a little bit of tape down. Okay. There we go. Then, now I have not seen very many videos on what other people have done with these cute little guys. So this is my first time using this. All right, so we're doing cherry cobbler and do the blue and lemon lolly, and then let's put those guys up here. This is going to be our background, and we're using the Stylish Shapes, and we're going to go up here. Now, when you do something that has a straight edge, you want to put it through your roller at an angle. So it will not put stress on your die machine. All right, so everybody is ready to go, I think. And we're just going to roll that through. Okay. And I'm right-handed, so I always bring it over to my right. Oops, there goes the birdie. Okay. So then, here's one bird. I'm just going to put it right there. And I'm going to put my die pop those little holes out. I don't like these holes in here. I don't know what purpose they serve. When you see the bird, you see there's a hole in the beak. And I'm like, why would you want a hole in the beak? I mean, his eyeball, I mean, we could do something different, I guess, with that. So I'm just going to show you what I did with it. Now, you don't have to do it. There might be a better way to, I don't know. Sometimes you drop it and it comes out. There we go. Drop it on the Glass Mat Studio. That always works. I should say 95%. And there's our little red birdie. Now I got to find my die that fell underneath. There we go. And it has a spot for its beak, a spot for its tail feathers. And there we go. And this is our Stylish Shapes background. I like how that turned out. And then our birdies got cut out. Okay, perfect. And then we have our little guys. Isn't that cute? Okay. There is a little bit of residual paper pieces that are left from die cutting. So I'm going to take my Pampered Chef. I have one of these in both parts of my stamping room where I use my die cuts. When I'm prepping for workshops or events, sometimes I'm sitting and die cutting, sometimes I'm at my standing station. So I have a Pampered Chef thingy scraper on there. And so I think I got everything die cut, and we'll remove that out of the way. And then we're going to grab the greeting that goes on the front of the card and our white piece. And this is going to say, just a little hello. And I want to put the greeting on here so I know where to stick my birds. And just allow that ink to transfer. And there we go. Isn't that just lovely? All right. And so now we can start assembling things. So I'm going to get rid of the Stampin' Pearson mat and then grab the silicone craft mat. This is for any time I want to do gluing or stamping or adhesive, anything like that. So I don't know any other way to do this, so I'm just going to cut off little tiny snips of okay, now I need my putty tool because I can't pick up those darn little buggers. Okay, so I am going to color its beak somehow like that, and then snip off that little specket of scrap, and then put a little bit of adhesive on his. All right, I'm going to leave my lid over here. So I'm going to put my bird right there, or adhesive on my bird. We are paper piecing. Okay, and then, come on. Then we're going to take scissors and we're going to cut underneath, and then we can use this piece in another part of our bird. So then we're going to take and we're going to put that bird, I guess we're going to put that right there because we're done with it for now. And then we're going to, you know, change some stuff with it. All right, so this guy, like I said, there's probably a different way to do this. There's probably an easier way to do this. Oh, I see that. Thank you. But if you want to find the hardest way to do something, you watch me, right? And then I show you what not to do, all right? Okay, so that guy's ready. And then this little piece, we might be able to use that. Okay, flip our little cherry cobbler birdie over and put a little bit of adhesive on them right there. Push that up in. All right, come on, get up there. I couldn't, you know, like I said, I don't understand why Stampin' Up, you know, made those holes there, because it's not, I mean, if you put the bird on this, you're going to see the white pieces, and so that's going to bug me. So now we're going to fix that. We're going to take the Cajun Craze, and we're going to take this marker. This is Early Espresso. Now, Stampin' Up! Does not sell these. They are on the last chance list. So hopefully that, you know, you've gotten a chance to get those. So we're going to take this and we're going to color in the eye, because that fits in there perfectly without getting anything on the outside of the eye. It doesn't get it messed up. It fits in there like perfectly, that little tiny little nozzle of the pen for the birds. Now, oops, I grab. This is really, this is really the dark Calypso Coral. I called it Cajun Craze earlier. I'm sorry. Calypso Coral. And there's our birdie. And then here is, go away bug. And then here is our beak off of this one. Ooh, I see you. Ha, now you're dead. You are squished. Okay. See? Now that matches. All right. All right, so that I got birdies, and then let's get their feet. Now we're going to do black on their feet, or their legs, I should say, because there's a lot of black, because we used, when you use blends, you have to use Memento. And so I didn't want to stick this in the dot and have it, for the eye, to bleed to the outside. So we're giving everybody black legs, even though their legs are probably brown or tan or, I don't know. Some birdies have black legs. All these guys, they're going to have black legs. So these guys have black legs, so I kind of wanted to, you know, do them justice. And so these guys, they're going to get lifted up by dimensionals. And so we're going to do one right there and one right in there. And then stab and grab those dimensional backings and throw them away. Okay. And then now we're going to put that right there. And then we're going to work on these guys. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's go. Now you are going to get a chance to win this card. And I went today, I went through a lot of Facebook Lives and picked winners. And so I put them in envelopes, and I will put them in the mailbox tomorrow. So if you won, I do not let you know unless I need your address. Now I'm waiting to hear on one. I got a person that won, and I sent her a message. Oh, isn't that just adorable? And I sent her a message, and she sent me back right away. And then another person I need to hear from. And I don't spam you. There's one person that watches me on my Stampin' for Joy page, and I have picked her name several times, but she doesn't have any type of way to contact her. So if I now pick her again, I now know that I have to just pick another person. So, because I have no way of contacting her saying, hey, you watched a Facebook Live of mine, I need to send you a card. And so, oh well, right? Somebody else gets it. All right, stab and grab those backings. All right. And then we're going to put that right there. That is perfect. Have the best day. And then these guys, we're going to put this on the inside of the card. And get that about the same distance around the whole border on all three sides. And then we're going to put our little birdies. Oh, thank you for the heart. I see that. All right, so we're going to put adhesive on all the birdies. Oops. Come on. However, we're going to make it so that the wing of the birdie, I got stuck. Okay, so you guys need to stay down here. Stop following me. All right, we're going to grab mini glue dots, okay? And I'm going to try two. I'm going to do one. Oops. And I got a new batch of mini glue dots. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that into a ball so that the wing stays up. Okay, push down and the wing gets lifted a little bit. Okay, and then, because I did one for my card when I was making the card yesterday, and there we go. We're going to put that under this one. Okay. And then you get your tail feather right there. So we're going to push down, and so that pops that wing out a little bit. Okay. And now this guy, hi Navon, welcome. This guy has only a little tiny wing. So he must be related to the, I don't know, some type of bird that doesn't fly, that has a small wing. I don't know. Because maybe he doesn't get off the ground very much. We're just going to do one. And he is going to hang out in the middle. Okay. And then maybe that little wing right there will pop up. But, you know, when this goes to the mail, it might get a little smushed. But, you know, it's kind of cute, right? Okay. So then now I used the cherry cobbler rhinestones, or the cherry cobbler blend to color my rhinestones. And so we're going to put this one right there. And this little guy right there. And then this guy right up in the corner. So we created a triangle. Okay. And then, how you doing, Yvonne? Okay. Then we're going to add our Winkostella. Just give that a good shake, shake, shake. All right, so we're going to color the wing. And there we go. And then I'm going to go and clear that off and then do the beak. I just clean that up a little bit and then do the grass that they're sitting in. Whoa, there's a lot of Winkostella on that. This is a new one, a Winkostella. And so I'm going to just kind of clean that up a little bit and grab paper towel and just dab it so it's not too winky. I mean, I know there's no such thing as too winky, but you know, I got to prevent a mess from happening just in case. And then we're going to go and do the little guys on the inside. But first, we're going to take a little bit of the same blends that we used to color the birds. We're going to just kind of hit that up a little bit with the, just to give it a little dimension. All right, so let's see. The brush tip of the dark happens to be the darkest, so that means this one. All right, and then the red, we're going to do the cherry cobbler. We're going to do the nib tip of the dark. And we're just going to kind of go back in and then hit the tail feathers. Okay. And then the blue. And that is Pool Party. And the lightest one happens to be, the nib tip happens to be darker. And then we're just going to kind of do the feathers. Okay. So then now we're going to take the Winkostella and we're going to go in and give those just a little bit of coloring. And so we're going to do the butterfly and the blue. Okay, and we'll clean that off. And then we'll do the yellow, which is the daffodil. or I'm sorry, Lemon Lolly. And then we'll do the Old Olive. And we'll go back in and do the Cherry Cobbler. And then the Cherry Cobbler on this guy. And his tail feathers. All right. So what did you think of the card? Thank you, Navon. So you can get a chance to win this card. And I am going to put a mini dimensional underneath a red head and make him stay. He does not want to stay. And now he has no choice. All right. That's how we deal with that. Put some glue on it, right? Okay. So let's just clean up a little bit. And if you would like to get a chance to win this card, thank you, Kimberly. Welcome. Let's see. So all you have to do is a thumbs up. Thank you, Dawn. So do a thumbs up or a heart. That gets your name entered into the drawing. Then if you leave a comment, that gets your name into the drawing. And if you share this on your timeline, then you get 2 entries to get entered. So you have 4 different ways to get a chance to win this. Thank you, Navon. Yeah, I have a hard time. Thank you, Tina. I have a hard time doing, simple, easy. I've done simple and easy. It's just, I have to work at it. So I want to say thank you very much. I should be back here on Thursday. Oh, you know what? Whoa. I forgot to do something. I forgot to show you in the beginning. We're going to move this. So the stampinevent.com, if you live in Minnesota, tentatively, it's scheduled for the next one, July 18th, and that's the in-person event. So, now this one here, the virtual Stampin' event, is Saturday, March 28th. And if you guys want a chance to see a flyby of this virtual event, all right, you will be able to, this card right here is the card. That's a fun fold card. You will make that card at the virtual event. Now, you have to sign up for it. And you'll make 8 cards, 4 cards designed by me and 4 cards designed by Heidi. And so that is the virtualstampinevent.com. It is Saturday, March 28th. And what happens is you purchase the, you register, and then we send those kits out to you. And then you will join us on the 28th. Now, if you aren't able to join us, that is okay. We send out links to all the videos after the event happens on the 28th, so probably that same day or the next day. And that way, if you're only able to, say, like watch, 10 minutes of it, and then you have to leave, you have those cards and the videos together to put them at your leisure. And then if you really like them, you can go back in and try to figure out how it was done and make more cards and of the same, the same thing. So thank you very much, guys, for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. Like I said, I will be back on Thursday. So hopefully you'll be able to join me Thursday. I'll let you know, probably with, about 30 minutes roughly, give or take. And it'll be anytime after 5 o'clock. And take care, guys. Have a great week and happy stamping. Oh, thank you, Navon. I see that. Very nice of you, my sweet friend. All right, guys, take care.